Have you ever wondered how a simple piece of silk could change the world? It sounds dramatic, but it's true. For thousands of years, there wasn't an internet, no airplanes, not even a proper postal service. Yet ideas, inventions, and cultures traveled thousands of miles, connecting people who would never meet. How? The answer lies in one of the most legendary networks in human history, the Silk Road. And no, it wasn't a single paved road lined with silk. It was a sprawling, ever-shifting network of trade routes that crisscrossed continents, linking the mighty empires of China with the heart of the Roman Empire and everything in between. It was the world's first global superhighway, and it carried far more than just silk. It carried the very building blocks of civilizations. So, where did it all begin? Let's rewind to ancient China, around the 2nd century BC, during the Han Dynasty. The Emperor Wu, was looking for allies to fight off the nomadic Xiongnu tribes from the north. He sent an envoy named Zhang Qian on a mission to the west. Now, Zhang Qian's journey was an absolute epic. He was captured, escaped, traveled through treacherous mountains and deserts, and after 13 long years, he finally returned. He might have failed to find military allies, but what he brought back was even more valuable: information. He described powerful, wealthy civilizations to the west, like the Parthians in Persia and the people of the Fergana Valley with their magnificent heavenly horses. This knowledge blew the minds of the Han court. They realized there was a whole world out there ready for trade. And just like that, the seeds of the Silk Road were planted. The Chinese had a secret weapon, something the rest of the world craved: silk. This incredibly soft, lightweight, and luminous fabric was a mystery to everyone else. The Romans, in particular, went crazy for it. They called it woven air and were willing to pay its weight in gold. Roman senators even tried to ban it because they felt it was too decadent and was draining the empire's treasury. But you know how it is. When something is that desirable, no ban can stop it. So, the trade began. Caravans of camels, the ships of the desert, would set off from Chang'an, the ancient capital of China. These journeys were no walk in the park. The caravans faced scorching deserts, like the Taklamakan, whose name ominously means "you go in, but you don't come out." They navigated treacherous mountain passes, like the Pamirs, the roof of the world, and dealt with the constant threat of bandits. Because of these dangers, no single merchant ever traveled the entire length of the Silk Road. Instead, it was more like a giant relay race. Chinese traders would sell their silk to Central Asian middlemen in bustling oasis cities like Kashgar or Samarkand. These middlemen would then transport the goods further west, selling them to Persian merchants, who in turn would take them to the Mediterranean, where Roman or Byzantine traders would finally buy them. At each step, the price of the goods went up, making silk an ultimate luxury item by the time it reached Rome. But here's the most fascinating part. The road wasn't a one-way street. While China sent silk, porcelain, and tea westward, a whole host of amazing things traveled east. From India came precious gems, cotton, and spices, like pepper and cinnamon, which were as valuable as gold in those days. Persia sent magnificent carpets, metalwork, and the famous cobalt blue that would later decorate Chinese porcelain. From the Roman Empire, goods like glassware, gold, and silver made their way to China. Think about the food you eat: grapes, walnuts, pomegranates, and cucumbers, all traveled east to China along the Silk Road. Imagine a world where Chinese cuisine didn't have garlic or onions. That's what it was like before this incredible network connected the world's pantries. This exchange enriched diets and agriculture across continents, fundamentally changing what people ate every day. But the most powerful things transported along the Silk Road weren't things you could touch, they were ideas. This is where the Silk Road truly becomes a story about us, about humanity. One of the most significant ideas to travel this route was religion. Buddhism, born in India, spread into Central Asia, and then all the way into China, Korea, and Japan, following the footsteps of merchants and monks. Buddhist monks would carry sacred texts, and incredible art and architectural styles traveled with them. The magnificent Bamiyan Buddhas in Afghanistan, tragically destroyed, were a testament to this incredible cultural fusion. Along these same routes, Christianity, in its Nestorian form, also found its way to China, and later, Islam spread across Central Asia and into the western parts of China. These faiths brought new philosophies, new moral codes, and new ways of seeing the world. And what about science and technology? This was a game changer. Chinese inventions, which were centuries ahead of their time, began to leak out to the rest of the world. Papermaking, for example. This simple but revolutionary invention reached the Islamic world in the 8th century and then Europe, paving the way for the Renaissance and the printing revolution. Can you imagine a world without paper? No books, no newspapers, no easy way to record history or spread knowledge. We have the Silk Road to thank for that. Other Chinese innovations, like the compass, which revolutionized navigation, and gunpowder, which would forever change warfare, also traveled west. In the other direction, Central Asian and Middle Eastern advancements in astronomy, mathematics, and medicine flowed into China. Scholars in Baghdad translated ancient Greek texts from Plato and Aristotle, preserving them and adding their own brilliant insights before they were later rediscovered in Europe. The Silk Road was a giant, continental brain, constantly sharing and building upon human knowledge. The heart of the Silk Road pulsed in its incredible oasis cities. Places like Samarkand, Bukhara, and Merv were more than just rest stops. They were vibrant, multicultural melting pots. Picture a marketplace in Samarkand. You'd hear dozens of different languages. See people from every corner of the known world. Sogdian merchants, Turkish horsemen, Persian artists, Indian monks, and Chinese diplomats. These cities were alive with the exchange of goods, ideas, and even genes. They were the world's first truly cosmopolitan centers. For centuries, the Silk Road thrived, reaching its golden age under the Tang dynasty in China and the vast Mongol Empire. The Mongols, under leaders like Genghis Khan and his successors, actually made the Silk Road safer than ever before. They established a system of passports, protected caravans, and maintained post stations, creating a period known as the Pax Mongolica, or Mongol Peace. It was during this time that the most famous European traveler, Marco Polo, made his legendary journey to the court of Kublai Khan in China. His detailed account, The Travels of Marco Polo, ignited Europe's imagination and its desire for Eastern goods, which would ultimately fuel the Age of Discovery. So what happened? Why don't we see camel caravans crossing Asia today? Well, a few things changed. The fall of the Mongol Empire fragmented the routes and made them more dangerous. More importantly, technology once again changed the world. By the 15th century, European explorers had perfected shipbuilding and navigation. They found they could sail directly to India and China, bypassing the long, expensive, and dangerous overland routes. The sea lanes became the new Silk Roads. It was cheaper, faster, and you could carry way more cargo on a ship than on a camel. The great desert cities slowly faded, and the Silk Road, as a primary artery of trade, fell into a long slumber. But the story doesn't end there. The legacy of the Silk Road is all around us. It's in the food we eat, the languages we speak, the art we admire, and the knowledge we share. It proved that connection is more powerful than isolation. It showed that when different cultures interact, they don't just survive, they thrive, creating a richer, more vibrant world for everyone. Today, there's a new Silk Road being built, a modern network of railways, pipelines, and highways aiming to reconnect Asia, Europe, and Africa. It's a testament to the enduring power of that ancient idea that connecting people and sharing what we have is the ultimate path to progress and prosperity. The Silk Road wasn't just about trading silk for gold. It was about trading knowledge for wisdom and curiosity for understanding. It's a timeless reminder that the threads that connect us are far stronger and more beautiful than the walls that divide us. This was History Bits Studio.